Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I'm going to be doing a cottage update. Now, I'd really hoped and planned to have a better update for you whenever I did this video. We definitely don't have as much of this project done as I'd hoped to by time making this update, but I'm gonna make the update anyway because this was the schedule for the week. This is what I plan to share. And then I'm also gonna share with you our vision for this cottage and what I'll be planning to do with it in the next couple weeks is the plan. So I've told you before, but my sister is getting married here on our property in 3 weeks from today, actually. As I'm recording this video, it'll actually be much closer when this video comes out. And she wanted to keep everything on site. Now the reception is somewhere else, but she wanted it to be easy where everyone was getting ready for the wedding, all the bridal party and the groomsmen and everybody getting ready here at our house, and then over to the barn for the wedding so that there would only be 2 venues to worry about, the ceremony and getting ready location, and then the reception. It'd also just make it easier for photography to be able to take pictures around our property. So because of that, of course, there's a pinch to get a few things done that we've been wanting to get done for a while. She wants her groomsmen to be able to get ready here in this cottage, and then all the girls, the bridesmaids and the bride herself over in the house. And so I want this place to look really nice. I also want to add a bed and a rug and make this comfortable in case any of her friends who are from out of town want to stay, they could use this cottage. So it's a total pinch because this has been sitting pretty much vacant for at least 20 years. So nobody's used it for anything at all. It has been heated in the winter just to keep it from freezing, but that's about it because there is plumbing downstairs. There's a little tiny bathroom, and we're gonna have that all going by time the wedding happens in 3 weeks from now. So first of all, let's talk about some of the work that we did, what we discovered, and then I'll share with you the work that we plan to do, and then our overall vision, which Luke and I were talking the other day about our vision for this place, and it's actually a really exciting idea that we're going to do that we didn't really think about before. We weren't sure what this was gonna be used for, and now we have a rough plan of how this building will be used. So first of all, the upstairs, which is where I am right now, had all kinds of problems. The drywall had been eaten away by squirrels. They were getting in through the roof and they were eating everything. And so it was all kinds of a mess because they had some styrofoam insulation in here that crumbled everywhere. Just made it to where it didn't smell good. Nobody really wanted to come in here at all until we were able to fix it up. So when Luke pulled the drywall down, he saw that it looked so much bigger and open by giving it the extra 5-ish inches that the ceiling joist, that the roof joist, is that the right word? You guys know I'm not technical, but we get things done, added. And so we decided that we didn't really want to put drywall back over. We wanted to leave it exposed. Now what was under there just wasn't able to look good enough for that. Now we are fixing the roof as well. We are getting this coating that's supposed to block any leaks and just keep it really airtight, even though we're not gonna put on a new roof. So there shouldn't be any more leaks. We've patched up any places where squirrels could get in. And so we just needed to make this interior look good. And so we decided to do some faux shiplap. We did this in our last house on the boys' room ceiling, as well as in our bedroom behind the bed. So we did the exact same thing where we took some just plywood and ripped it down to 5.5-inch strips with his table saw. And then the tricky part was we wanted it to look like they ran in continuous boards underneath the roof beams. But of course we couldn't actually take the roof off and do that. So we had to cut the strips in between each one the right size. And because this is built in who knows when, we're thinking it's a 19th century building, they didn't use precision in this building at all. And so every single row was a different size, and then Luke had to make sure to line them up so that it would look like continuous shiplap behind it. This was just the easiest way that we could figure out how to have an exposed ceiling that looked pretty. After that, we painted it. Now, at first, Luke didn't paint any of the beams, and I know some of you are probably thinking, don't paint those. But the problem is they look really messy. There's old paint and just dirty things on them. There's lots of holes. they just don't look good from all of the years. And covering them in paint makes them stand out less. At first I was like, you know what, it's a really pretty color, I like the color, but they're highlighted when they're wood. And you don't really want these boards that aren't in very good condition to be highlighted. I'm totally going for a cottage vibe in here. I want it comfy cottage. And so we decided just to paint them all white. Now Luke does need to get a stain blocker paint because some of the old stain is coming through. And so once we get that layer of paint on there and we caulk down in between where the shiplap meets each beam, I think it's gonna look really pretty. Then we have to worry about the walls, and we're hoping to salvage the drywall, keep it, but just add some pieces of trim in any area that we can to make it all flow and be seamless, but without digging in very much. See, that's the goal here with this cottage. We could pour a new foundation for this thing. We could get a whole new roof. We could rip off all the drywall, we could gut it, but we don't want to spend that much money on this little building. We just don't. So we are doing what we can to make it very comfortable, climate controlled, leak-free, and beautiful without tearing into things, because we know that the more we tear into it, the more that we're gonna have to do, and that's just not what we're trying to do. So we're trying to tear in as little as possible, which is why we hired the person in our area that told us they could put this roof coating thing on, not like the thing we did on the barn, but something that even covers leaks even more, because he said if we tear off that roof, there's so many layers of roof, there's cedar shake underneath of it. It's going to likely damage things, and you just don't really want to touch all of that. So we're not digging in too far. Now, if this was our actual house, we would probably consider doing things in a way that would cost a lot more money and be a lot bigger of a job, but we don't really need to do that for this, because I still think we can make it really cozy for what we want to use it for without doing all of that. Now, as for the floors, again, it would be pretty to sand them, make them light color, and you know, we might eventually do that. But for right now, we're gonna leave them how they are. They're a little bit shabby, but that's okay. I'm gonna get big wool rugs on the first floor and the second floor, and I think that will just really cozy it up. I already found a bed, which I showed you in my video with Paige. I found that at the antique fair for 20 bucks. I still need to get a box spring and a mattress, which I need to do before the wedding. Another thing that we need to do is the railing. So currently the situation is not safe. Kids could fall off, the steps are really steep, but 2 days ago, I was on the Instagram stories of one of my favorite antique shops in the area, and she popped up an old banister railing newel post from a 19th century house, all intact. Normally I see spindles, I see the post, but I never see it all together. And I went and got it, and we are going to install that here so that it can be safe for little kids up here. So that way it goes all the way to the end of the steps, and then we could put a little baby gate so that if you wanted to, you know, have a family up here, you wouldn't worry about the baby falling down the steep steps. Then we're just gonna paint everything. And in some ways I like this green color, but Luke kept saying it just feels like a dungeon in here. It feels so dark because they didn't really put a whole lot of windows in here, because it looks really pretty from the outside, the way the windows are, so we don't really want to change that, because for the most part, and this is something front and center that we see all the time on our property, so we want to keep the way that the windows currently look, but it does make it to where the lighting in here isn't great, especially on the bottom floor. So we do think we're going to go with light colors. I thought about leaving the bathroom area on the inside of the bathroom, the green, the original green, and so we might actually do that. We do need to paint the bathtub. We're gonna leave it in place. The inside is perfect. It can hold water and everything. You don't need to re-glaze it or anything. So we just need to paint it so it's not pink and remove the butterflies. And then I'm mostly excited about all of the decorating part of it. I'm on the hunt for rugs, a little couch, a little table. We're gonna get a little Berkey in here, so a little travel size Berkey so that guests can have fresh water. And then in the bathroom, we're gonna put tons of candles on the little shelves by the bathtub, hang some towels. I just want it to be this cozy little cottage that has everything you need. I also am thinking, and we'll see, but I'm thinking about getting another frame TV like I got in the living room and I showed you on the faux fireplace video above the mantle. so that I can have art there, and then guests can also, you know, it has Wi-Fi because it's so close to our house, so they could have TV, and I'm gonna have a French press in here and a little coffee heater. I'm just really excited to put to use this building for hospitality. So that leads me to our vision for this place that Luke and I were actually dreaming about yesterday. The kids were napping, we were out here painting, and we both got to talking about our vision. We want to make this an Airbnb, but for family and friends only. So sorry, that's kind of a letdown if this is somewhere that you'd want to go, but we don't really want to open it up to the public, at least not at this time. But as something for the kids, because this would be a cool way to visit with out-of-town family. We also think it'd be really neat for the kids to participate in getting it ready. So if we know we have a guest coming, putting out fresh sheets, filling up the Berkey, you know, putting a diffuser, I don't know, just making it really cozy and comfy, making sure there's fresh towels, and having that open for any family and friends. I also thought about, you know, hosting YouTube friends that I've met, or through blogging and things like that. There's so many people that I've met, and we just are excited to see what opportunities might arise if we make this a guest cottage that we host people in. Now, of course, we won't be having guests all the time, so we're gonna also set this up so that there'll be a few toys up here. We thought in the winter, or anytime when we would like to do school in a different location in the house, which does happen sometimes, we like to move around and shake it up a little bit. We could set up a table and a couch downstairs, which we'll have for our guests, but do some reading there. The younger kids could be up here with maybe a little basket of toys, so it can function like that as well, but just small amounts of things so it'd be easy to clean up should we have guests. Now, something Luke and I were brainstorming was how we could set up a website, because we want it like Airbnb, but I can't really host it on the platform if it's not actually gonna be a public listing. So we're thinking about that. I might just see if somebody will make a website for me, just a very basic calendar with dates available. When we were talking about this yesterday, we were thinking, people won't wanna use this if it at all feels like imposing, if they have to ask. It won't be used. But if there's like a website that our family and friends know about, and they can literally just find days that they want to stay, that we've put in the calendar what days we have available, it might actually work. So we want to set also in here some guides to local things that we really love, without sharing too much information about our location. We have some really cool outdoor activities around here. So we're going to have the things that you need to do those outdoor activities here, and then some maybe like sample itineraries or guidebooks or things, just totally setting it up like an Airbnb, because I have been loving the idea of having an Airbnb. I've been dreaming about it a lot, and we might actually pursue buying an Airbnb in a different town, but I wouldn't want to have an actual Airbnb right on, you know, this is right in front of our house. So it's just gonna be a fun way to dip our toe into that and, you know, participate in hospitality, all while just sharing our home with others. So we're really excited about that. Now, in the next couple weeks, the things on the to-do list are paint, paint, paint. Lots of paint will make this look really nice. There's a lot of projects that we're going to do in the future that we're not gonna get to before the wedding. It just has to be livable by then. I really would like to find a nice wool rug before then. That might be hard. I might not end up coming up with one by then. I might just have to get something cheap while I'm looking for something better. We'll see. I want an 8x10 Persian style, hand knotted, kind of like I have in our living room. I just want it to be comfy and cozy. I'm also looking for vintage sheets. I'm totally just embracing the cottage vibe, possibly some florals. Oh, another thing we need to do is get an electrician out here to hang some sconces behind the bed. I need to find a table. I need to find a desk for up here. We want to have a desk, maybe a small bookshelf. And then we need to hire the plumber to come out and make sure everything's good to go on the sink and the bathtub and the toilet, because that hasn't been used in so many years. But we want it to be functioning and completely up to normal standards. So we want this to be an extension of our home. We want this to be usable and not just something that occasionally gets used. We want to heat it in the winter, cool it in the summer, have the plumbing working and all of that. So there's so much to do. This Friday, We are getting a window installed in the front. We had to replace that window. We actually ordered one that swings out. It'll just be really cute, and it'll be here before the wedding, which is amazing because I don't need a black trash bag on this cottage before then. If you followed along with our farmhouse journey and you saw when I did our first walkthrough, I brought you into this cottage and it was something that just carried a lot of potential. Definitely dark, dungeony, needing a lot of work, but a lot of you were very excited when I showed it to you and wondered what we'd be using it for. Also, before, this cottage was red and green. It had kind of a Christmas theme going on. And I know a lot of you liked the shabby red look. It kind of had a barn look to it. But my heart's desire was for it to be a cottage. I really just wanted it to look quaint, and I loved the way the handmade stone chimney would look next to the blue, so we did repaint it. You can follow along with the whole outside restoration journey in a previous video. I will link it in the cards and in the description box below. All right, well, I'm planning to fully bring you along with the whole process as we continue to make this little cottage into our guest cottage / Airbnb for friends and family. I will also be sharing some of the preparation for the wedding day. I'm really excited about that. I'm not gonna share anything from the day, like the ceremony or anything like that, to just respect my sister. I'm not gonna ask her if I can vlog her wedding. But I know that it will be fun for you to see how we set it up, where we're gonna put the decor and how the barn looks, because it's gonna be all cleared out. My dad's even gonna bring a horse trailer to put the animals in just during the ceremony. Of course, we're not gonna leave them in there very long. But just scenes from how we have the cottage set up and decorate around our property, all coming very soon. And I'm excited to take you along with us for that. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living in a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.